Good morning. This is the second episode of Mental Check Mondays. Last week, I think, was a great intro. Hopefully, you all enjoyed it as much as I did, releasing the thoughts that were in my head, but also discussing things that we should discuss more as human beings in this world, and especially in this month. Obviously, it's an opportunity to discuss and to open up and to build on things that can help us grow as individuals and humans. And so um, it was a great opportunity. I enjoyed it. This is the second episode. I want to dive into the root of what I believe some of our issues are with depression and anxiety. Um, does it come from worry, doubt, or is it just unbelief? Want to talk about our belief system. Like, what do we believe in? I heard a singer. I was listening to a gospel song uh, probably last night on the way from the facility, from the stadium, from the game, that said something that caught my ear, my attention, and I want to just expound on it. Depression is a branch off the root of rejection, which I've added to, which sprouts from the seed of doubt that is planted in the soul of unbelief. And I think that's powerful in many ways because it kind of gives you a definition. It kind of gives you a root of where our issues and our thoughts and the negativity comes from. It's just not. It just doesn't come from the air where we just have these thoughts. It's not something that just pops in our head. I think it's over time. A seed is planted, and that seed begins to grow, and we have to be able to uproot that seed. You uproot that seed with a strong belief system. I said this the last episode. I'm a believer in God. I believe that God exists. I believe that He created me. I believe that He's the Father. I believe that Jesus is the Son. And we have the Holy Spirit that is allowed within us if we allow it um, to get us through our life. I believe that all of us were created for a purpose and a plan. We're not just here for any reason. We're not just here just to live or exist. We have a purpose, and I want to thrive. I want to strive. I don't just want to survive. And so I think a lot of the things that we deal with come from the fact that we don't have a true belief system. Um, I'm not rooted in my successes or my failures. I'm rooted in the belief that I'm here for an intended purpose. And I can go deeper and deeper into that, and I will as the episodes continue. But I really just want to focus on our belief system and how we strengthen it, and being able to understand what we go through grows us. And so I never want to get here and say that we don't deal with depression or we don't deal with stress or we don't deal with anxiety. We deal with all those things. Those life is going to happen. Like, things are going to happen to you that you don't plan for. But if you build a foundation in a and is rooted in a certain belief, I think at that point we can grow from there. And when you but you have to have that belief system. You have to be rooted in something so that when something shakes you, your foundation is not destroyed or doesn't crumble. So I that's the purpose of this. That's the purpose of Mental Check Mondays, is just to, after the week, as we go into the new week, to continue to grow and to continue to just do a self checkup, to do an evaluation of yourself and your beliefs and your thoughts. Not that they're negative or positive, but that they're leading you in a direction that you want to go in. And I think that will help you. That will allow you to build on something that grows a tree of prosperity, per se. And from those trees, from that tree, you'll get branches of positivity, branches of joy, branches of success, and that helps you. that now you've created a foundation, and that foundation will lead to growth, improvement, strength. These are more terms that I would prefer to use than doubt, unbelief, uh, depression, fear, and anxiety. We have to. I think a lot of it has to do with, just like I said, your belief system and the words you use. Your words have power, and if you refer to yourself in certain demeaning terms, you become that. You become your thoughts, and so I want to be able to check on those, to be able to do a self checkup, because I think the person that can help you the most is yourself. And I don't want to say we want to get into positive affirmations like to trick yourself. No, I want to plant a seed, and then that seed grows. But in order for that seed to grow, it has to be good soil. And so I think Steve Harvey said, when it's when you plant a seed, it's no longer, we don't say dirt, we say soil. And so soil, probably better, but that's probably my Louisiana talk, that you're probably catching. But like this is just putting pen to paper to wax. And so these are my thoughts. This is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be some fancy studio. I just want to talk. I want to talk about what we go through, what I go through, what I've gone through, so I can help others moving forward and help others to grow and to understand that, like I said, the first episode, you are enough. You are loved. You are created for an intended purpose. You matter. Don't underestimate the whole your absence would make in this world. Like, you're an important piece. You were created to solve a problem. And so I refer to myself, and you should refer to yourself as a solution. That no matter how tough life is, you are a solution to a problem. And what you're going through is only here to strengthen you for what's next. And so the question that I asked myself this a few years ago: what is your belief? What are you rooted in? What is your foundation? If you don't know the answers to those, 9 times out of 10, you're struggling because you're trying to find your way. How do you find your way? Write down some things that brings you joy, that brings you satisfaction. Write down what you think you do the best. What is your gift? What is what you do the best with the least amount of effort? That is your gift. That is whatever you can do rolling out of bed is your gift. And you should pursue that. Not your abilities, not your job, not a paycheck, because those things are fleeting. They will cease to exist. Your gift will always be here if you use it. And so I think that's a key component to your belief system, your foundation, because when your foundation is rocked, when it's shaken, you can use that to fall back on. You can use your gift, your talent to fall back on, because it's the thing that you can do with the least amount of effort. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to go get it anywhere. You don't have to search or find it. It's already there. It's in you. It was created. It was put in you when you were created. That gift was given to you when you were born by whoever you believe in, but you have to believe in someone or something. And so I believe in the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. And so that allows me to have this steady foundation when things happen, when things go left, that I can run to the Father. And I wanted this to be more about here, what's in your mind, because if you win the battle in your mind, you'll win the battle anywhere else. Most of all our issues come from inside our mind, inside our own head. We have these thoughts of ourselves in our own head, and it's rooted really in conversations we have with other people. Sometimes we give other people power over us and we don't even know it. Like your boss, your supervisor, um, whoever's in, it could be a girlfriend, boyfriend, a family member that has started you a long time ago with the self doubt, and it just creeps in every now and then when you have certain conversations, and it triggers you. And when it triggers you, it triggers this self doubt. It triggers this thought process that I'm not enough, that I'm not worth it. And so now we want to get back to laying the foundation of belief in oneself, in one's gift. And how do you do that? Is you you have to have these thoughts. You have to tell yourself these things. You have to write down these things that bring you joy, that bring you satisfaction, that gets you through the day. Because then again, I'll say the slogan, the phrase that I heard, I believe it was Tasha Cobbs, that said depression is a branch off the root of rejection, which sprouts from the seed of doubt that is planted in the soul of unbelief. And so my response to that is you must uproot the seed, but also plant your new seed of confidence in the soul of faith, which is rooted in acceptance and produces branches of joy. I believe joy is the way you combat depression and doubt, unbelief. You fight it with joy, and you have to find out what brings you joy. What brings you joy? What For me, what brings me joy is seeing others succeed. Like I take pride in helping others. Um, I don't chase money. I don't chase success. I don't chase worldly things anymore. When I was younger, I did. I'm 36 now, and so life comes full circle when you have successful moments, when you have production behind the work that you put in, and then you realize it's fleeting. It goes away, and you want that again. You want that, but that's happiness. It's not joy. Happiness is an emotion. Joy is something bigger, greater. Uh, the world can't give you joy. Success can't give you joy. Joy is built over time. It is a seed that grows into you and into your mind. And so I truly believe that I chase joy. In chasing joy, that allows me to run away from depression. How do I get joy? It's rooted in my gift. I believe my gift is the ability to relate to anyone or anything at any moment. And so I build relationships based off that. And so to see others succeed brings me joy. So I want to work with people that have this, that they're right there, right? And I want to push them. I want to push them to be able to reach their goals and their ambitions. Um, and when you see them get that, when you see them succeed and prosper, that allows me to keep moving forward. That allows me to keep chasing uh, more and more, and that brings me joy. But in order for me to chase, right, we get weak. We're human. We drain, um, and so you have to continue to replenish. You have to continue. A lot of times, I don't say I sleep, I recover, and that's because you have to. It's like your phone, right? You have to put your iPhone or your Android, whatever phone you have, Galaxy. You have to put that on a charger at night for it to charge back up. And I say the same thing. I have to charge up for the next day. I don't sleep. I recharge. I just try to use better terms, better words, um, that has prosperity behind it, that doesn't have a negative connotation behind it. And so I'm working on it. I'm not perfect, but it's really to just talk about the things, the life experiences that we all go through, and how can we grow each other from it. And so I think a lot of depression comes from worry, comes from doubt. When you believe in something, when you're strong in those beliefs, worry and doubt can't creep in, because you know it already. You understand it already. You know that this is going to happen because of a certain thing. And I think that certain thing goes back to, I'm rooted in my preparation. If I prepare for something, I never have to worry about failure because I prepared. It's the same thing as Kobe Bryant saying he shot 1,000 shots a certain way. Um, but the casual fan, when he shoots this shot in the game and hits a game winner, they get all excited. They jump up. The reason they get excited is because they was not in there, like he said, the phrase, shooting with him in the gym. He shot that shot so many times, he expects to make it. So it's not a wow moment, an aha moment, because he's worked for it. He's prepared for it. He's practiced it. And he's continued to practice it over and over and over until he creates muscle memory. I think it's the same thing for your mind. You continue to mold and build this thought process till it's preparing you for when the famine comes. Like I talked about last week about the harvest, right? You store up during your harvest, preparing for the famine, because the famine's going to come. Life is ebbs and flows. Life is ups and downs. There's peaks and valleys, right? So when you're in the peak, you have to store up for the valley. You're going to have valleys. You're going to have downs in your life. You're going to have ebbs and flows. Like life is not going to always be a continuous climb, a continuous growth. You're going to have down slopes. You're going to have situations where you're knocked down. That's life. Like I can't explain. I can't give you why that happens. That's just life. But I think if you prepare for it, then it doesn't hit you as hard. Your foundation isn't shaken as hard. It doesn't crumble because of your preparation. Like you're gonna miss shots. You're gonna drop passes. That's a part of it. Professionals do this. Like Steph Curry has missed shots. Michael Jordan has missed shots. LeBron James has missed shots. But they don't give up. It's you look at how many times a touchdown pass is dropped, and then the next play, the same play, the ball finds that individual and they catch it. It's not because of just talent. Um, it's because of their process, their mindset, that they have the short memory, because they still have to perform at the highest level. And so that it's not, you don't want to have a situation where you think you're tricking your mind. You don't want to live off that, because that's going to run out. That's not real. That's not realistic. You want to root yourself in your preparation. And how do you prepare mentally? You read more. Like I read the Bible. You might read self-help books. You might read motivational quotes. Every day I send a group. I have probably about 10, 15 different groups, text messages, single threads of text messages where I send scriptures or positivity, if you want to say quotes and motivational quotes. I send them to them, but also I read them, because I'm sending them. It's being read by me also, because it's helping me also. We all go through things. And so one of the key failures, and not say failure, right? One of the key valleys in my life. I remember, I think it was probably 2017, 2016, 2017. I was a high school coach at A Meet High School, and I wanted to get out of high school football. I wanted to get into college football. I wanted to coach, but I wanted to do it for the wrong reason. I wanted it for money. I saw the money that they make in college football, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. Um, and I was at a local high school, and I went interviewed at Southern University with Dawson Odoms, who's a great guy, phenomenal guy. He's at Norfolk State now. I interviewed with him. I remember going to the interview um, because I went up to the school every year for their camps, and kind of, I pester. I I am a pest. Some people would say I'm annoying, as someone said before, but I look at it more as I'm persistent, because it's something I want, and if I want it, I'm gonna get it. The reason I'm gonna get it because I'm gonna prepare, I'm gonna work. This instant, like I said before, my gift is ability. You'll hear people say the gift of gab, the gift to relatability. I could walk in any room at any time and relate to someone in that room and catch the attention in the room. Um, that got me in a lot of trouble as I was younger. But this particular instance, I go to the interview. I think I'm prepared. I'm really not. Uh, as I'm in the interview and I'm talking and I'm going through the offense, and they're like, "Hey, explain this." And I'm in an interview with the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and all the position, like everybody on the staff is in there, including the head coach. And I'm on the board, and they tell me, "Okay, you talk this." Was most of the interview, I talked, and so I control. I've learned if I talk the most, I give you one question in the interview. Eh, If I talk and continue to talk, I don't give you a second question. I control the interview. It worked up until a certain point when the head coach told me draw curl flat. Um, and I drew it backwards. Like I thought I was this important. And I was probably about 27, 28 years old. I thought I was the big thing. I was this important guy, right? I got this interview at Southern University. I'm on my way. And in the process, I drew it backwards. Um, I kind of felt in that moment something shift in the room. Probably the interview ended probably about 10 minutes later. As I'm walking out and I'm in my head, like, what did I do wrong? What shifted? Um, Chennis Berry, who is now the head coach at South Carolina State, great guy, great human being. He came down the stairs and he hugged me. And I'm like, what do why is he doing this? Why is he hugging me? He hugs me and he's like, hey man, keep working, keep improving at your craft and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's a little weird. But at that point I realized I ain't getting that job. So probably like a week or two later, I'm informed, right, that I ain't get the job. And so I'm like, okay, cool. It kind of shook me, right? Because I thought I had it. I thought I was somebody. I thought I was important. Um, but I didn't work at it. I did not work at the interview. I thought I was gonna go in there and talk my way through this job, and it didn't work that way. Uh, but from that point on, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep going up there. Mind you, I did not know what went left in the interview. I just knew something changed. As I continue to go up there, I go to the camps. I'm texting the head coach, hey, if you ever do this, keep me in mind. Keep me in mind. I probably did that for another year. He called me like the next year and was like, hey, I love your persistence. I don't have a coaching position, but I have a staff position. It's a lowly paid staff position. I said, doesn't matter. I'll take it. He named me the director of recruiting at Southern University in 2018, which was a blessing. As I get on the staff, I'm there probably after about a week of me being there. We all comfortable with each other. We're in a staff meeting. They're like, man, you know why you didn't get the job? And I'm like, no. And so he's like, hey, man, chill here. I'm like, nah, go ahead, tell me. I need it. And it's like, man, you drew curl flat backwards. And it hit me then. I wasn't willing to put in the work to be a coach. But not only that, my gift was not in that. My gift was my ability to relate. And so from that moment on, I told myself, you know what? I'm not going to focus on coaching. I'm not going to focus on chasing the money. I'm not going to focus on the fame and the fortune. I'm going to focus on what I'm really good at. And I'm going to improve that every day. I'm going to mold that. I'm going to chop off and cut up and until I form this perfect being or this perfect gift that God gave me. And so I tell that story because it's a part of my growth, my ascension of where I am now, 6 years later in this business, blessed to still be in this business, blessed to still be in the the position of relatability. That was my gift. I try to pursue financial growth, right, instead of purposeful growth. instead of growing the seed of relatability. I want to use that in a different avenue for something I wasn't really willing to work hard on. I was going to try to get by. Um, but that taught me a valuable lesson. That from that point on, I've worked in college football and in the NFL based on relationships. I knew anytime you put me in a room, I would be prepared. I was unprepared for that situation. I never wanted to feel that again. I never want to be a part of that situation again. And so, but it wasn't a right. I could have allowed it when I didn't get the job. I could have allowed that worry, that doubt to seek in, to get into my mind and say I'm not good enough. That wasn't the case. It wasn't that I wasn't good enough. That's not my gift. That's not my role. That's not my purpose. And so once I realized that it's not that I'm not good enough, it's not that I'm a failure, right? That's not where I'm supposed to be. That's not what was intended for me. What's for me is for me. And it's gonna be for me and no one can change that. And once I got to that, that was probably at about 30 years old, it unlocked a different thought process in my mind that what I go through grows me. That nothing else is important but growth. But how I grow is I have to be rooted in my gift more than chasing money and working really, really, really hard. Um, you have to have some ounce of talent or a gift. Hard work does pay off, but hard work, hard work alone only gets you a paycheck. It only gets you a little satisfaction. But when you chase and pursue your gift, it grows you into something different. It gives you a sense of belonging because it can't be taken away from you. A job can be taken away from you. A paycheck can be taken away from you. Your gift can't. It'll sit you in rooms with some of the most important people, and you'll wonder how you got there. Working on your gift, honing your gift, strengthening your gift sits you at the top. It allows you to get to the peak, and then you keep climbing. A continuous climb. I think it was Mike Novell that uses the slogan "Keep climbing." Like I steal it all the time because that's life is a continuous climb, and I want to say that as you climb, reach back and pull someone else up. You continue your climb, but legacy is not what you do; is what you leave for others. Um, I had that quote last week about planting trees um, of the shade you'll never be able to sit in, and that's a powerful quote because it's paying it forward. And that's if we all do that, if as a society, if we learn to pay it forward, we learn that it's not about the benefit, me reaping the benefit, but it's paving a way for someone else that can grab it and run with it. That helps the world. And the world becomes a better place. I said this last episode that I want to save the world. Can I? Probably not. But I'm not going to listen to anybody that tell me not to. Because I think if I can touch one person, then that person touches another person, then that person touches another person. Each one teach one, and then we grow as a society, and we can combat depression, we can combat anxiety, we can combat people in the young generation thinking they're not good enough. You are good enough. You're more than enough. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose, and I'll continue to say that. I'll continue to push that. Like this conversation, this podcast is not about self doubt. It's about self evaluation and pulling the things out that don't strengthen us and replacing them with joy because joy is everlasting. Joy is not given to us; it becomes us. It seeps into our body. Um, it's I don't joy is not an emotion. Uh, it's something that happens to you over time that you create, that you mold, that you build within yourself. And it's something that you can't explain. It really isn't. Um, I said this, and I always say this: life is not hard. And the reason I say life is not hard is because as human beings, we don't choose anything hard. We're not going to choose anything hard. We're going to choose the easy way. So I always say life is tough. It's not hard because you're not going to choose hard. Tough, yes. Impossible, no. Manageable, yes. But you got to get to the point that you're building on something. Again, it goes back to what I said about the foundation. If you have a foundation that's rooted in your gift and rooted in belief, when you're shaken, because you're going to be shaken, you won't crumble, you won't break, you won't shatter. You'll have some bumps and bruises, right? But you get back up, you dust them off, and you keep moving forward because you're not rooted in financial benefit. You're not rooted in just your successes. You understand that there is an ebbs and flow of life. There is a peaks and valleys of life, and I'm just going through the storm right now. And as I go through the storm, I have my umbrella, which I have my umbrella because when it was shiny, when the sun was out, I bought the umbrella. When I was able to go to the store, when it wasn't windy, when it wasn't storming, when it wasn't shadowy, I was able to purchase an umbrella because I knew the storm was coming. Preparation is what you should be rooted in. If you're rooted in your preparation, if you prepare for it, when the moment comes, it won't surprise you. You'll be ready for it. And you'll be able to take the impact and it won't destroy you because you've worked for it. And that's what I'm about. I'm about work. It's anyone that has ever met me, anyone that's ever been around me. I joke, I clown, I have fun, right? Because I try to make light of every situation. Life is very short, and I don't want to spend it being uptight and upset. But I'm rooted in work. No matter what, I don't want anybody in the world to think they're gonna outwork me. They're not. Um, Will Smith had a quote that I listened to it all the time on YouTube, probably about 12 years ago. That got me through a tough, very very tough time in my life when I decided to go back to college, to a university, to get a degree, to kind of push my life forward. He said that you might be stronger than me, you might be faster than me, you might be better looking than me, you can sing, dance better than me, but if me and you get on a treadmill, you gonna get off before me. And that's based on the work that I've built. I'm gonna die trying. Like, I'm not getting off this treadmill. That I can tell you. Like, I'm not going to get off this treadmill. You're getting off before me because I won't quit. And that stuck with me for a long time about just continuous improvement. I think I learned this from a good friend, a mentor of mine, Kaizen. Kaizen. Uh, it means continual improvement, continual growth, development. Keep pressing, like never stop. Like, things are gonna happen, life is gonna happen, trauma's gonna happen. You can't avoid it, but you can prepare for it. And if your preparation, if you've done enough, if you continue to do enough, if you continue to push, if you continue to learn, you continue to evolve, nothing will break you. You will be okay. Life is tough. I'll continue to say that, but it's not hard if you prepare for it. It only becomes hard when you don't prepare for it. It only becomes hard when you don't focus on the things that you can control. You hear it a lot from people: control the controllables, right? Control what you can control. The only thing you really can control is your effort and your attitude and your preparation. If you do those things, if you control those things, if you do what you're supposed to do with those things, like, life will not break you. You will be rooted in something of substance. And every time something comes, right, you can dodge a few of them. You'll get hit by a few of them, but you'll continue to get back up because you're rooted in something. Your seed is not doubt. It's not unbelief. It's not like depression is just a branch on that tree. And so if you cut that branch, right, the branch will grow back. Like you have to uproot it. You have to plant your seed in better soil. Like you can't, even if you have the seed, right, like I said, the seed of confidence, right, and you plant it in bad soil, it's not gonna grow. It's not gonna grow to what you want it to be, right? So you have to take that seed of confidence and you have to plant it in good soil. Can't be on stony ground. Can't be on around thorns that it's choked when it grows. It has to be in good soil. My soul is the word of God. That's what's in me. I read on it every day. I meditate on it. I'm careful to do what is in it. And I understand Joshua 1:8 that if I'm careful to do what's in the word of God, if I meditated on it day and night, I'll make my way prosperous and have good success. That means everything that I have, everything that I've been given, I control it. But I control it with my preparation. And part of my preparation is reading the Bible. Part of my preparation is spending time with God. It's when I drive to work, I'm listening to gospel, but I'm talking to Him. I'm talking to the Father because I need Him, and I need Him more than just for things in my life. I need Him for my growth. I need Him for my relationship because that's the key to me. That's who I am. Like I said, it's relatability. It's relationships. It's the preparation. And so, like that's me. I'm giving you who I am. I'm giving you what I've been through, um, my successes, my failures, what has molded me to become who I am. But it lets you know that we all deal with something. Everyone's dealing with something that we have no idea they're dealing with. So I say that to say, be kind, give grace, because we needed to. No one's perfect. And I want to also say, based on like the conversation from the last episode, like life is going to be okay. If you're listening to this, if you've got to this point, this is week 2 and you made it. You've survived 100% of your so-called bad days and you'll continue to survive them. I just want to build on that to the fact that you're no longer surviving, that we're thriving. How do we thrive? Our preparation. If you prepare, if you store up in your good days, right? When your bad days happen, it'll just be another day. It'll be another Tuesday. It'll be another Wednesday. And you won't focus on it as much. Yeah, you got bills to pay. We all have bills. But I'm not focused on if I can pay the bill or not, because I don't want that to run my life. I won't accept it. I won't allow it. And we just got to get to the point where we're building on that, and we're rooted in that, right? That we do not allow our successes or failures to control us. That life is more important than that. And like I said, this is big for me. These are my thoughts. These are my opinions. But it's a release for me to the world. It's my way of helping the world. It's my way of helping whoever wants to listen. If no one listens, I'm gonna keep doing it. Why? Because it's helping me. It's growing me. It's building me. Um, but I think it helps everyone. I think it's something that we should continue to do and continue to grow on and talk on and discuss. So it's I think that's key to our growth, right? Is that seed. What seeds are you planting? But more importantly, where are you planting it? Right? Who are you talking to on your day to day? And what are they putting back into you? Your conversations are very important. Like I said in the beginning, your thoughts mold who you are. It molds your day. So when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you talk about? What is the first thing you think about? What are your first thoughts? That'll mold the rest of your day. That's why I say I get in the car and I'm listening to gospel music and I'm talking to the Father, because that's how I want to start my day. That's how I want my day to go. I let him know that you're the most important figure in my life. I need you. I need you with me today. And in doing that, I set the foundation for my day. And so I ask the question to you all: how do you start your day? What are those thoughts that's in your head when you wake up in the morning? Don't let them be about bills. Don't let them be about worry, anxiety. Let it be about belief. Let it be about your foundation. And from there, those are the first steps to us molding and reconfiguring our mind and winning our mind. I sent out the message this morning: win the morning and you win the day. That's true. That's very true for even this message. If you start out with positivity, or you start out with joy, you start out with belief in the morning time, great conversations in the morning time, you set the tone for your day. And if you can set the tone for your day, you can set the tone for your week. And if you can set the tone for your week, you can set the tone for your month. And then you stack the days, you stack them, you stack the months, you stack the years. And again, I'm not going to say that you're not going to have bad days. Like, it happens. But it's not as bad as we think it is. We can make it worse with our thoughts. And so, to bring it full circle, like I said before, remember that life will happen. It will. Life, something's going to happen in life. Something's probably going to happen today. But if you build a foundation of joy, a foundation of confidence, of faith, you can control it. And it won't shake you as hard. It won't destroy you, because you can lean on your foundation. The house that's built on a solid foundation won't be destroyed. You'll be shaken. Like, life is going to happen. You will be shaken, but you'll be prepared for it. And when you're prepared for it, you can respond differently. And so I just want to say, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all matter. You're loved. You're more than enough. You're important. Your existence matters to this world. Continue to be blessed. I love y'all. Hopefully this resonates with you all as much as it does with me. Love y'all. Be blessed.